guys, today I'm filming my fall makeup must-haves. Like always, this is going to be a huge video because I am covering products for eyes, cheeks, lips, and nails. I love fall the most. Like, it's like the best temperature of the year, and I love warm tones so much. I do find them to be the most flattering for my skin tone, my hair color, my green eyes, especially. Copper eyeshadows on green eyes are like perfection. So I have like a million. So I actually am going to be splitting this video into two parts. I'm going to do a separate video, which actually I think I'm posting before this one. So that means I just did a video on my fall palette collection because there are so many. I'm actually feeling overwhelmed with all of this fall makeup I have and trying to wear everything, considering I'm only wearing makeup about 15 days in a month currently. So I'm gonna try my best to get use of everything and maybe declutter some things along the way. So I'm showing you some must-haves, but some of these things are also new to me and I just want to wear them this season. So there are some things in here that are limited edition or discontinued, and that's not to rub it in your face. It is to encourage you to pull them out of your collection if you have them, and also I'm genuinely letting you know the things I'm going to be using this season. So, Lord, this is gonna be long. Get a snack. Let's go, starting with eyes. So I have a bunch of ColourPop Super Shock shadows. The editing is about to be choppy. This first shade is 8 Track. It's a pearlized finish. On the eyes, this ends up looking like a golden olive color, which is one of my favorites ever. And this is my favorite formulas, or finishes, I should say. Next, I have Thirsty Girl, which is like a dirty golden bronze color. It is a metallic finish. This is one of the wettest, creamiest ColourPop Super Shocks that I have. Next is DGAF, which is a super unique color. It does have some green reflect, but it does have like a dirty peachy rose base. It's very unique. I love the way that this one looks on the lid, and depending on the different shades you pair it with, you can really pull out the more green or the peach tones in it. And then we have the opposite, which is Moonwalk. This is a pearlized finish. This is like a green shadow, but it does have more of an orange peach base to it, which is so beautiful. And again, depending on the different shadows you pair with it, you can really see that different dimension in the shade. Then we have Donna, which is also a pearlized finish. This one is so beautiful. It's like a dirty peacock blue color. Absolutely love this kind of shade. It is like the perfect kind of like murky color that is not too dark, especially for me already having small eyes. Love this. And then I have these two coppers that I wanted to show as side by side. This one is Game Face. It's an ultra metallic, and this is White Rabbit, which is a pearlized. You can see that Game Face is more of like a light yellowy orange, and this one's like deeper, more of like a harvesty orange. I'm not really sure how to describe the difference. Obviously you can see the difference. I just can't think of the right words, but they're both super beautiful. I definitely do prefer White Rabbit a little bit. This one's just like a little more, I don't know. Anyways, I love them. Next, I have a bunch of my favorite single shadow formula, which would be the Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pots. These are pricey, but amazing. And I've been able to get them all on really good deals. This first one is a Martini, which is again like a dirty golden olive shade. Next is Fire Dancer, which is a beautiful red color, and it has like a little bit of like an orange tone to it too. This is not a red where it pulls cranberry, which is a shade I normally wear in the winter time. I thought about putting this with winter shadows, but this does seem a bit more on the warmer side, that I would like it more in the fall. And this one is broken. They break so easily in the new packaging. And this is another shade in new packaging. This one was a limited edition. It is in the shade Caramel Apple, and this is a mix between a rose gold and a copper. It's so beautiful. Then I have 3 minis from the holiday set. This first one is a permanent shade. This is Wild at Heart, which has a really beautiful duochrome. Then we have Citrine, which is just a really pretty like copper orange. Then we have Pink Diamonds, which is like a really pretty pink to purple flash. Again, I don't have a ton of purples in here, but I do think this is a really nice fall shade because it is a bit warmer than something I would wear in the winter. Then I have a couple of shades from Urban Decay. This is one of their Moondust shadows in Solstice. This is such a cool shifter shade and a really cool formula. Then I have these two matte shades that I really need to use more. The matte orange is Spike and the matte red is Relish. Then we have two shadows which would win the most challenging packaging award. Like if you've just painted your nails, do not use these because you have got to use your fingernail to like pop open the lid and girl, you'll jack them up. So these are the Dose of Colors Block Party shadows. The warm brown is Encore and the blue is Teal Me More. Then I have two quads that I have not used yet, but I need to. Everybody's been dying over these shadows, so I want to see if I love them as well. So I can't say these are must-haves, but I do plan on using them this fall. So I've swatched it, but I haven't used it. This first one is Pumpkin Pie, two mattes, two shimmers. The shimmers look especially gorge. I'm sure I've got similar things, but that's a good way for me to try this formula is shades like this because you usually can't mess them up too bad. And then we have Hot Jalapeno, which has some really cool colors. This one is definitely unique for my collection. So we'll see if I love this formula as much as everybody else. Then I have this palette of Makeup Geek singles. This is a bundle that I purchased. I'm not sure if it's still being sold in a bundle. If it is, I'll have it down below. I will list all the shades in the description box for you guys, but this has such a great shade variety. So you've got some purples, some greens, some warm browns, that beautiful blue. So excited to try these shades. I haven't used any of them yet, and I haven't tried her new formula yet. And then I have my custom Z palette for the fall. I actually have to use an extra large palette for the fall, and these two shades I pulled out here is because I'm panning them. It's Anastasia, Birkin, and Bengal. I have backups of them and they would totally go in here as like staple transition crease colors, but I will have all of the shades listed down below. The different brands I have in here would be Looxi, Sydney Grace, ColourPop, Makeup Geek, and Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I've organized this by the top 3 rows are shimmers and the bottom 2 are mattes. I'm sure I could arrange the colors a little bit differently, but this is how I have it for now. Next, we are on to one of my favorite parts, which would be cheeks. And I have actually a lot of bronzers in my collection this year, so I usually dedicate one bronzer and contour to each season, but I do have more this time. So I have a bronzer that I'm panning, I have one contour product, but then I have 3 other bronzers where I want to rotate one each month to get use out of them as well. And these all have like nice warm undertones that go well with the warm peachy blushes I love wearing this season. So for the bronzer I'm panning, which is like my #1 fall go-to, this is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. It's a great color for my fair skin tone. It does have a warm undertone without being too orange. Like I tend to veer a little bit more almost on the orangey warm side in the summer. For my contour, I'm using the Bobbi Brown matte bronzer in the medium shade. This has more of like a subtle like red cocoa undertone. It's really, really pretty and a nice smooth formula. Then for the 3 bronzers that I'm rotating, the first one is Anastasia's Saddle. Out of all of Anastasia's bronzers, this one is the least pinky red. That does not work for me. I can do something more warm but not red, and this one is a little bit deep for me, so I have to be careful with it, but I really like this shade. Then I have the Fenty Sun Stalker bronzer in Shady Biz, which is the second lightest shade in the range. This is a beautiful color for my skin because it is a little bit warmer but not too deep, and it's a really nice smooth formula. And then we have the Cover FX bronzer in the Sun Kiss Bronze shade, which is the lighter out of the 2. I definitely prefer the matte side over the shimmer side because the shimmer is a little bit hard to pick up on a brush, but I want to use it more this fall. Then we've got all of my blushes. So I have 2 cream options, the rest are powders, and these are all basically like warm nude, peachy, nude color. Like I love peaches in the spring. They're a little bit brighter, but these are more like muted peaches. I've got some like burnt peach, burnt orange, you'll get the gist as we go along. So for the two cream blushes, both of these are cream to powder, which is the formula that works best with my makeup preferences and my oily skin. So the first one is permanent. The second one may have been limited edition. So this one is the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur Blush in Blurred Buff, which is a really pretty nude that has a little bit of shimmer in it. And then we've got the Kiko Rebel Bouncy Blush in number 1 Velvety Peach. You can tell this one is lighter and more peach, but both have a really great cream to powder formula. Then for my other blushes, I'm really just kind of gonna show them to you by brand, by however I pick them up. It's gonna be hard for me to describe the differences in them, even though there are some. I'm gonna just show them to you. So this one is like the brightest out of everything I have here. This is Tarte's B-Day Bay, which I do think pulls a little bit peachier. I could possibly use this in the spring, but it's not as bright as Captivating from Tarte. So I'm gonna try it for fall this year and see what I think. And the other two Tarte blushes I have are super similar. You don't need them both, but I have them both. So this one is Seduce and this one is Risque. You can tell Risque is a little bit pinker, but honestly, it's like the packaging is not the same color as the actual blush. Then we have my most favorite, which would be my MAC blushes, of course. This is MAC Mineralized in Warm Soul. It is the old formula and color, which is just so perfect. Then we have MAC Peaches, which is a sheer tone blush. This one is a little bit brighter as well, but I think works really well because it is a little bit more on the sheer side. Works perfectly with these other warm tone makeup products. Then I have Cantaloupe and Melba. Melba is a little bit more pink, where Cantaloupe is a bit more neutral, but I can definitely justify having both of these and the formula is incredible. Then we have Clinique Cheek Pop in Ginger Pop, which has like slightly rosier or a little more terracotta than the other shades, which does pair nicely with some of the lip colors that I have. This is a little bit more of like a brighter, also somehow burnt orange. This is the Balm In-Stain Blush in Swiss Dot. Then we have one of the newer blushes to me, but I absolutely love it. This is the Cover FX blush in Warm Honey. Again, I prefer the matte side over the shimmer side, but it's incredible. Then I have this Pixie Fresh Face Blush in Beach Rose. I love this because it is like a burnt peach sunburn look. So unique, good formula, and I really love this shade. Then I have 5 highlighters, and these are all more warm tone champagnes. This is a mini of the Balm Mary Luminizer, which was one of my first highlights and such a classic. This is Ofra's Star Island, definitely the more blinding highlight out of the bunch. This is Becca's Vanilla Quartz, which has like a slight duochrome to it. Next is Benefit Cookie. This one can be pretty blinding as well. It's an amazing formula. Then we have my newest out of the bunch, which is the Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Ozone. So now we're on to lip products, and wowee, I have a lot. And basically they are peachy nudes all the way to burnt oranges and more terracotta colors. So I am just going to show and swatch these for you from lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, and lip glosses. So for lipsticks, I actually have almost all MAC, and then I've got some jumbo lip crayons, and I have a little mini from Charlotte Tilbury. This is her iconic Pillow Talk shade. I am trying to get some use out of this in my fall project pan. I'll show you the swatches close up once I'm done, and I'm gonna have a hard time describing all these because they are so similar, but I will try my best. So I did my MAC lipsticks kind of from like lightest to deepest. So this first one is Blankety. It is an amplified lipstick. This one has a little bit more pink in the nude, so I'm gonna try it for fall, but I might end up liking this more in the winter time. I'll try it both seasons to see what I prefer. Then we've got Modesty, which is a little bit deeper, a little bit more brown, but this brown does still have pink in it. You can see right there, it's almost a little peachier than that Blankety one. So again, I'm gonna use this in the fall, but maybe also in the winter to see which season I prefer. Next is one that's new to me that I've really been loving. This is MAC Patisserie, and this is a luster finish. This one's a bit more peachy compared to the others, and it's also more sheer, which is really pretty. I actually am liking more sheer lip products because I always hate when I have that line of demarcation. Next is another sheer finish. This one is Hug Me, and this is a little bit more brown, but still peachy. And that's also a luster if I didn't say. Then I've got a little mini of Velvet Teddy, which is a matte finish. I know everybody loves this shade, and the mini is so cute. I have not worn this one on my lips yet, so we'll see if I like it as much as everyone else. Next is something I haven't even hauled yet for you guys, but this is gonna be in my haul this month. This is MAC's Mocha. This is a satin finish. Very pretty. And this is like look different on different people. It can look more pink or a little bit more like slightly terracotta brown. And this other one is one I got for free recently. It's Marrakesh. Really intense, like burnt orangey red color, but thought it'd be fun to try something different. And again, it was also free. So those are all my MAC lipsticks. Then I've got my 3 jumbo lip crayons. These are old formulas. This is the Tarte Matte Lip Surgences. Now they have the Lippy Lingerie, which is essentially the matte formula. And we've got my most favorite shade, which is Exposed, which is like the perfect peachy nude color. And this is one of the older lip products in my collection, so I do want to use it more, but I love this shade. Compared to these others, it's looking a little bit more pink, but I feel like it can look a bit peachier on my lips. Then we have this shade Pear, which has been described as like a Marsala kind of color. Super pretty, and I really like this formula. And lastly, we have a Matte X finish of the ColourPop Lippy Sticks. And this one is in Ziggy, which is like a burnt terracotta type color. Definitely on the darker side. Here what all of the lipsticks look like close up. So I swatched them from this way to this way. So I'm gonna swatch the glosses underneath, and then I'm gonna wipe off my hand to do the liquid lipstick. So for glosses, I don't have too many. I do have one that's like super shimmery, one that has a bit of sheen to it, and the rest of them are cream finishes. So this first one I got in a set and people love, but I haven't used it much. This is Celeste, which people love to use as a topper, but I'm not really into the whole topper thing. Then my other shade with a little bit of shimmer in it is Buxom Sandy, one of my favorite glosses ever. This is a repurchase of mine. It's a really nice light nude that has some peachy pink tones in it. I really like pairing that one over that Tarte Exposed. Then we've got 3 lip creams. This is a mini of the shade Hot Toddy, which is a really pretty peachy color, but it has a little bit of like pink in it as well. It's really pretty. Then I've got 2 of their limited edition fall shades. So they have 2 limited fall lip polishes and then 2 lip creams. I bought the 2 lip creams, and the first one is Spiked Apple Cider, which is a little bit pinker. And these also have a different scent, which is really nice. And then we have the more peachy brown, which is Pumpkin Spice Latte. And it's only like a little bit brown, not super brown. And still, even with these lip creams, they are like a light medium opacity. So there's that one. So pretty. I love the smell of that one. And then these last 2 glosses have more of like a medium to full coverage. This first one is one of the Tarte's glossy lip paints in the shade Obvi, which is a warm peachy color. These are pretty pigmented And I got a lot of product on the wand there. It's super pretty. And then the other one is slightly more brown. And this is one of the NARS Velvet Lip Glides in the shade Swing. I do have a couple other shades as well from this line, and I really like them. So that one right there is Swing. So this is the darkest of all the glosses. So I actually decided to swatch the glosses again so you can see them a little bit better. So they're in the same order. So these are the 5 from Buxom, and then we have the Tarte and the NARS. So then for liquid lipsticks, I've got 4 different color categories. The first is my lighter, more peachy nudes or tan nudes. Then I've got my more like mid-tone peachy nudes starting to get a little bit more on that orange side, but they're more muted. Then I've got a couple of like Marsala type colors, and then I have some more like brighter or burnt orangey terracotta type colors. And you know, some of these kind of fade into one another, but I'm splitting up the colors as best as I can. So first I have a mini Kat Von D liquid lipstick, or KVD Vegan Beauty, in the shade Ludwig, which is peachy compared to Bow and Arrow, which is more of a cool nude, but it just depends what you pair it with. Then this one is from Kylie. This is her Velvet Liquid Lip, and this one is in the shade Bear. And this one is a little lighter and it's a bit peachier. Then I've got 2 from Dose of Colors. This first one was exclusive to BoxyCharm. This is in the, you can buy it on their website now. This is in the shade Nude Mood, which is even peachier. It makes the Kylie look a little pinker, and this one's a little bit deeper as well. And then we have Truffle, which is pinker than Nude Mood. Again, super similar. You definitely don't need all 4. Basically, like, pick your favorite out of those. Then we got my more mid-tone shades. This is a Too Faced Melted Matte in the shade Sellout. It's basically like a deeper version of Truffle. I didn't realize those were so similar. Then I've got one of the Ofra liquid lipsticks in the shade Sandy Belle. The Ofra formula is so comfortable. There is that shade, very pretty. And again, I'm not describing them very well. Then we've got these 2 limited edition shades from Too Faced from last year's holiday set. We have Hot Buttered Rum and Pumpkin Spice, although I do believe Pumpkin Spice was brought back this year and is in the full size. So I'll start with Hot Buttered Rum because this one's more muted. There's that one. Oh, I love the smell. Then we've got Pumpkin Spice, which is a bit more orange, but it's again a little bit more muted than some of the others you're gonna see. And this one is definitely warmer, but it's like a mid-tone shade. This is a Dose of Colors Velvet Liquid Lip in the shade My Main. I hope they come out with more in this formula because it's really good. And it definitely is looking more nude on my hand, but it doesn't show up that pale on my lips. But it's a really cool, very warm color that was kind of weird at first, and then I really got used to it. Then I will swatch my more orangey, burnt terracotta type of shade. So this is one of the M Cosmetics liquid lipsticks. I can't remember the name of them. And this is in the shade Faded Clementine. I have not worn this one yet. It scares me a little bit, but it's really cool. Like, that is such a nice harvesty liquid lip. Then we've got Too Faced Gingerbread Man, which we'll see if they bring back. I don't know if they have or not. You can see that's darker and has like a little bit more red in it. Then even darker than that is Gingerbread Girl from Too Faced. Oh yeah. This one definitely has more red in it. It's deeper, more burnt. Like, oh, so pretty. Then we've got my 2 more Marsala color. This is one of the NARS Power Matte Lip Pigments in the shade American Woman. Be careful with these. They're very runny and they will pour on you. So it's definitely more rosy than the other colors, but so beautiful. Love this one. This paired with like the Naked Heat palette would be such a pretty like monochrome look. Then I have another dose of colors, and this one is in the shade Mondays. And it's just like a deeper version of that NARS. So there are all of my liquid lipsticks that I'll be wearing this fall. A nice mixture, but like I said, you can probably pick like 4 of these and you'd be set. So lastly, we have nail polishes. I have a bunch here. I have more polishes in fall than I do for any other season, just because again, there have been so many of my faves, and a big reason for that is due to a lot of these different indie brands that have come up with these really cool colors. So the different types that I go for would be more like murky, dusty, mint, turquoisey teal kind of colors. Then I have cream finish, like autumn leaves colors. And then I've got some metallic, more autumn leaves colors. So we will start with the more mainstream polishes. I have 2 from Zoya. This one is Wednesday, which is a little bit brighter. Then we have Bevan, which is a little dustier, and so this one's more blue, this one's more green, this one's a little lighter. Then I have these 2 from OPI. This is Worth a Pretty Penny, which is a gorgeous like copper rose gold metallic. And then we have Ginger Bells, which is like the perfect pumpkin pie cream color. Then I have this one from Nails Inc., which is in Chai Kiss, which is a really pretty cream. It's a great fall neutral, like everyday kind of color, and depending on your skin tone, this could be like a nice mannequin hand look. The rest are indies. I've got Lights Lacquer, 90 Lacquer, and KL Polish, which is Kathleen's old brand, but I'm very fortunate I have a ton from her. So I'm just gonna show you these by brand. So these are the 4 that I have from Lights Lacquer. This is Jeffa and Cold Turkey. So obviously more green, more blue, but they're both a little bit on the dusty side. They're both cream finishes. And then we have 11 and Girl Power. 11 is what I'm wearing on my nails today. And then I actually have 1 layer of Girl Power on these 2 nails here. This does get mostly opaque if you put 3 layers on, but it's a really pretty shifty shade. I don't know how much I love this kind of color. It's more of like a baby puke color. My sister doesn't like it, my husband doesn't like it, but I've gotten used to it. I'm really happy and impressed with this formula so far. I would like to try more colors from her. I just haven't been in love with her collections. Then I have these 2 from 90 Lacquer that are a little bit brighter. This blue one is Frost, and the purple is Fortune Telling Feline. These just seem really fun and good like summer to fall transition shades. Then we have these 2 more neutral shades. This is Igneo Pebblet and this is Turkey Coma. So this one has a lot of like holographic glitter pieces in it, and this one is more of just like a foil metallic. This is my favorite Thanksgiving polish, but they're both so beautiful. And lastly, I have these 3 shades that I have not used yet, but I cannot wait to. This one is Decay, a beautiful like swamp green. And then we've got Maple, which is a stunning orange metallic. And then we have Mulled Wine, which does have like a deep purple base. I'm really excited to see how that one shows up on my nails. These definitely remind me of like more Halloween type polishes. Then I have 12 from Lights Lacquer. I have 6 cream fall leaves tones and 6 metallics. I don't normally like metallic polishes, but I do in these kind of tones. So the first 2 creams I have are a bit more mustardy. This one is peanut butter and this one is caramel. This one's a little bit more mustard. This is like a mustard mixed with a tan. If you're scared of caramello, then peanut butter is like 1 step down. Again, I'm so sad this brand is not around because they're so good. And these next 2 I wanted to show by side so you can see the difference. This is Taurus, which is a warm brown, and this is Miami Fever, which is more of a burnt orange. Then we have Chloe, which is the most perfect olive cream, and we have Havana Nights. I do also have Brick from KL Polish, but that one is not my favorite. I love this one so much. I don't usually like vampy polishes, but that will be like my top two vampy polishes. The other one I love is something I will use more in the fall time, in the winter time, I mean. Then for the metallics, this one is Medusa, which is a really pretty golden olive color, but it has a more like foiled finish to it, and it has this oil slick vibe, if you can see like the blue in the corners. And then you've got Mother of Dragons, which is also like a golden olive, but you've got more glitter pieces in there, and it's a bit more green on the nails. And again, this one's more metallic. This one has a little bit more glitter in it. The next two we have would be Princess Penny, which again is a beautiful metallic. Then we've got Miami Fever, which is more of a glittery shade. So this is like a teal base, but you do have gold, orange, and green glitters in it. And these last two I wanted to show you side by side so you can see the differences. So this one is Leo and this is Prince Cornelia. So this is more orange, this one's more brown, but they have like similar colors of glitter in them. So those were all of my polishes, and those are all of my fall makeup must-haves. I know there were so many products here, so I'm hoping I can maybe declutter some things along the way, but I truly love most of the products they have here. Like I said, there are a couple things I haven't tried before that I'm just excited to try for the first time this season, but a lot of stuff. So please don't forget to check out the video before this one, which was my fall palette collection, and then this was everything else. So I would love to know your thoughts on the products that I talked about today. I would love to know what your fall makeup must-haves are and what kind of colors do you tend to reach for during the fall time for eyes, cheeks, lips, and nails. Thank you guys so much for sitting through this long video. I really appreciate it. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.